channel. So tier 2's up, tier 1 is loading as I speak. Hopefully it won't take too long. Usually doesn't. There it is there. Audio is working, so the stream's up, the chat's up. We're all good to go. Absolutely fantastic. Hello everyone, and welcome to round 8 of the PlayStation Pacific Tier 1 Championship here on Race Spec Esports. I'm Lane Everingham, your lead commentator for tonight, and this time we're racing at the Marina Bay Street Circuit for the Singapore Grand Prix. The 5.06 kilometer 23 turn circuit was made in 2008 and is known for hosting the longest Grand Prix in terms of time on the calendar. Being a street circuit, it's naturally a bit difficult to overtake, but it's definitely not impossible. There are 3 DRS zones on the racetrack that lead into turn 1, the best overtaking spots at turn 7 and turn 14. The latter of which isn't usually an overtaking spot, but we may see some action at the right-hander. For the rest of the circuit, the drivers will have to worry about the hazards of the racetrack, mainly the always present concrete walls that line the edge of the racetrack and track limits. There are quite a few cuttable corners here, and drivers need to take full advantage of that in order to be competitive and set quick lap times. Now, before we focus on qualifying, there is a little bit of news to go through first from last week's race in Spain. There was one incident report, but the stewards have deemed no further action to that report, so the results stand from last week. Looking at the Drivers' Championship, GeForce Crichton is leading on 135 points, followed by Spilly on 126, only 9 points separating the top two. Fiery Hour is third on 111, 24 points behind his teammate. GeForce Ford is fourth, just 1 point behind Fiery Hour on 110, followed by GeForce Wogboy on 107. So we effectively, at this point, we've got a 5-way fight for the Drivers' Championship because Plebs, who was P6, is on 76 points. He's quite a long way behind. As I've noticed, GeForce Ford has left the session. Hopefully he'll be able to rejoin shortly. Karma is 7th on 75 points, followed by Chip on 73. Leo is 9th on 57, followed by Scotty on 53. That's the top 10. In the Constructors, Mercedes, they're so far out in front now. They're on 246 points, followed by Aston Martin on 159. It's a fairly big gap between the top two. McLaren are third on 151, so it's a tight battle for second in the championship. And with Williams in fourth place on 136, they're not too far behind. Same with Ferrari in fifth on 125. Completing the table, we have Red Bull, Alfa Romeo, Alpine, Haas, and AlphaTauri at the bottom of the order. Now, with everything out of the way, we can now focus on qualifying, and now I can introduce my co-commentator for tonight. Once again, it's GeForce Pato, who is alongside me for tonight's race. Thank you again for joining me here. But what are you looking forward to here in Singapore?
Hello everyone. Always a pleasure to be here. So, yeah, as you said, it's gonna be the longest race in the calendar. So it's going to be really hard for the drivers, actually, for both wheel users and pad users. It's a really difficult track because it's not a fast one and the walls are basically all over the place. Actually, I'm not looking forward for the race, and I'm going to explain you why.
I think I know
because it's going to be, it's going to be full wet for the whole session. And in a street circuit, you never want to, as a spectator view, of course, you never want a full wet race on a street circuit. But that means that qualifying is going to be even more important than it is usually. And all the drivers now need to push they need to put their 110% effort in order to get the best position possible. And it's going to be fun, at least those 13 minutes that we're watching right now.
Oh, it's Grim Reaper has crashed at turn 9. Sorry to interrupt you there, Marco. He has hit the wall heavily at the Singapore Sling. He clipped the inside wall on the left. He did a G-Force swaggy from a few seasons ago. But that was a big shunt. That was only luck that I caught that. I saw a car spin out at turn 3. That must have been G-Force Zach, was it? I saw a red dot stationary at turn 3. It might have been Hillez, actually. But, yeah, scrolling down, Grim Reaper head on into the wall there at turn 9. My goodness. With the wet weather race as well, it will allow drivers to essentially send it through qualifying and use up all the soft tyres. There's no need to try and qualify on the mediums.
That's true.
So
yeah,
they can just send it as hard as they like.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about pushing and sending it.
Well, speaking about the race, I think it will be a no stop if it remains green flag from start to finish. Now, if they're going to try and do a no stop, they have to worry about tyre wear. So what part of the car do they have to worry about? Is it the back, the front, or a particular side?
This truck is famous for being real limited. Yep. Because it's full of traction zones, and you need to really be careful of your rear tires and get on the power nice and clean. And I think if it's gonna be wet conditions, like full wet conditions, so the drivers will need to use wet tires, they can go for a no stop. The intermediates, well, I know you don't want traffic for sure on this track because overtaking will be a nightmare, but it will be even harder, like to make the whole 31 laps on the inters, because of course the inters are faster for sure, but they're like softer than the wets in general. So let's see how much it's gonna rain. I know for experience that wet conditions here is like you can use wet tires only when it's like pouring like crazy. On this track, 80% of the time suggest the inters to go for this race. So I'm really curious about watching how the weather will pan out on the race.
Now, setup-wise, would the drivers make any compromises? Because this track naturally demands the setup to have a lot of downforce, doesn't it? So would you change anything setup-wise?
Well, setup-wise, I would just... Like as you said, it's a street circuit, so it's a high downforce one. So I think a lot of drivers would be running already like 11-11 wings or 10-11 wings.
Yeah.
What I would do usually is like locking up the differential, going to 100, and raising the ride height, which helps like when you touch the curbs and especially on power. And maybe making the suspensions a bit stiffer. That could help.
Fair enough. Now, I'll be interested to see who's made compromises in terms of the setup. It will be a bit difficult to judge at this point. We'll have to wait and see until race time.
Yeah, it's going to be like a 50-50 because, like, if you want your best lap time in quali, you should go for a dry setup. And keeping in count that it's not so easy to overtake, maybe a dry setup on the rain could be actually the right choice, because you can go a bit slower than usual on the wet, but still it will be really hard for the cars behind to overtake you. And it depends. It depends what the drivers will decide.
Do they want track position, or do they want a safer, more stable car to drive in wet weather conditions? It's a bit of a gamble that the drivers have to take here in this qualifying session. But, well, if I were one of them, I would just pick a wet setup just to try and get through the race. Because at 31 laps in full wet conditions, it takes a toll on you, on your focus, on your mental sort of well-being. Because there's so much you have to worry about. Not just the lack of traction, but if you're in the middle of the pack, there is so much spray that comes up, and you can't see too much. All you can see is a flashing red light in the car in front of you, and that's about it. So, yeah,
exactly.
You want to be at the front, definitely. Not just for track position, but to get out of the spray, as Hillez has crashed at turn 4. Oh dear. We've had our second retirement, and he hasn't set a lap time either. Alright, Scotty. Oh, he's right in the middle of the circuit too. Oh, his car did a bunny hop just then. But I'm guessing he lost the back end at turn 3 and put it into the wall on the right-hand side of the circuit. A couple of drivers did that, I think, during the elite race, if I remember correctly. GeForce Ford, he has rejoined. Good to see. He's got time, I think. There's a yellow flag indicator in the way, so I don't know if he's got time. Plevs here is beginning his flying lap, making his way through turns 1, 2, and 3, but through 2 and 3 he was awfully sideways, running over the curb on the inside of turn 2, losing the back end. Fortunately, he gathered it back up, and he hasn't put it into the wall, but his lap is effectively done so. So he'll go back into the pits probably and put on another set. Chip, I think he's... Well, he's invalidated, that's for sure. I'm not sure if he tried to set a flying lap earlier. Mr. Leo here, I think he's just done a flying lap. Certainly seems like it. Currently P5 with a 36 flat. Wogboy and Crichton are getting ready. Crichton has just started a flying lap. We're right on board. Give you a proper tour of the racetrack through turns 1, 2, and 3. It's important you get turn 3 right to maximise the straight line speed here. After turn 4, that little left-hand kink there, that's turn 4. This is turn 5, and also very important corner to get right. Dictates how quick you go heading into turn 7, which we're coming up to now. Hard on the brakes. Crichton is just under 2/10 up on his lap time. Around turn 8, brings it down to 3rd gear. Doesn't bother using 2nd. Around turn 9, now heading towards the Singapore Sling. Quite a notorious bit of track on the original layout anyway. It used to be a really silly chicane before they renovated it back in 2013. Around the hairpin of turn 13. Come up to the 3rd and final DRS zone on the racetrack, heading down towards the middle sector split. The clock says Crichton, he's lost a couple of thousandths in that middle sector, so he's basically even with his previous best. Through turn 15 into 16 and 17. This final sector's just got a whole heap of 90-degree corners. All of them you have to cut. Underneath the grandstand at turn 18 through 19. Now into 20 and 21. He might have brushed the wall there, I'm not too sure. Exiting 21 now. Coming up to the final 2 corners on the racetrack. Turns 22 and 23. Crichton will cross the line to set a 1 minute 34.774. Oh, he's cut all of turn 2. He is almost a second clear of Wogboy.
Well, that's a statement.
That is a statement. I reckon he might have a dry setup. Who knows?
Well, I think he will like drifting on the wet as well, like knowing how he drives. So we won't bother him that much.
That's quick. That is very quick. See if anyone else can try and crack into the 34s, maybe try and do a high 35. See, it's 40 runs wide at the exit of turn 7. He's on his first flying lap after rejoining the session. He's making his way around turn 9, heading down towards the Singapore Sling. I think that was Spilly getting out. No, it was Vags getting out of the way there. Alright, through 11, then 12, over the Anderson Bridge, then into the hairpin of turn 13, brings you down to 2nd gear, missing the apex by a little bit there. Could have been a bit narrower going around 13. According to the minimap, he's purple. We'll wait and see what his time looks like at the end of the lap. Through turn 15, and into 16 and 17. Using the full width of the circuit and then some through this sector. You have to do that through this sector. Have to cut every single corner you go through. Through turns 20 and 21. Just has to get the final 2 corners right. But no, he goes back into the pits. He doesn't have a lot of time left on the clock, so if he tried to do an in-lap after completing that flying lap, he would have been running fairly low on time to try and do another flying lap. So he's gone with the safer option, come back in, get fresh tyres and let the track evolve a bit more, then do another flying lap.
Yeah, and keeping, like, this track is really long, but due to the fact that it's full of corners, like it has pros and cons actually. The pro is that you can do a perfect lap and be super quick like Crichton did, but on the other hand, like making a mistake in one corner can really compromise your time.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a really tricky one, like especially in quali. It's really hard to get a perfect lap. Must be said.
Especially at the end of qualifying, when you know there's a whole heap of corners in front of you, and if you make one mistake and invalidate your lap, it's done. You know,
yeah.
and because the out-lap and in-lap is so long around here, you're so limited in terms of time to try and actually set a flying lap. That's something I've done, I think, on more than one occasion where I've come out at the wrong time to try and set my final flying lap. I just read the situation wrong with the clock, and I wasn't able to get a time in just because of how long the lap is in terms of time. But you learn from those things, as all drivers do. As Spilly is up by almost 2/10 in the middle sector, making his way through the final sector now. And you have to cut all of these corners as much as you can without doing that, without hitting the wall. And that's precisely what he did. Oh, he doesn't have time. Doesn't have anywhere near enough time to try and improve. Is that front wing is surely damaged. He hit that wall pretty hard, and yeah, he's got a fair bit of understeer going on. So yeah, his qualifying's done. Spilly won't be improving. We've got a fair few drivers on their final out laps, getting ready to set their final flying laps. Crichton's still in the pit lane. He's not bothering to go out and set another flying lap. Slightly reminiscent of Sebastian Vettel from 2012, I think. During Q3, he only did one lap right at the beginning of it, and then just sat in the garage for the rest of qualifying. I think that was 2012.
No, 2013. 2012 Hamilton got pole.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And then he retired because of gearbox issues.
Alonso won that race, didn't he? Or was it Seb?
No, when Crichton has... Okay.
Has he crashed?
Smashed into the wall intentionally? Okay. Well... Okay. I think... I don't know.
I don't know either. Because he definitely didn't have enough time to set another flying lap, that's for sure. As Chip here is making his way on his flying lap. Crichton's over there. Crashed his Mercedes into the wall. Wogboy, he's making his way through the first sector now. Currently P2, he hits the wall at turn 5. His front wing looks okay, but with the spectator view, you don't get the full story with car damage. He might actually have a bit... Oh, and he's invalidated. His lap's done. Karma has begun a flying lap. Same with G-Force Zach. I think Plevs is the car behind him. Yes, it is. As Leo jumps up to P2 with a 35.649. And Spilly, he spun. Yep, his qualifying is now completely done so. Chip, he's apparently purple to the middle sector. He did improve by a fair bit. As Spilly retires on track. Hopefully his car doesn't impede the Haas that's coming through. I think that Scotty, his session is done. Through this final complex. His teammate Rude is on a flying lap as well. He crosses the line to jump up to P13 with a 37 flat. Chip comes around the final two corners to cross the line. He improves by a 10th, jumps up to P5 with a 35.8. Well, boy, his session is done. Same with Leo. Fiery Hour is second, making it a Mercedes-Benz 1-2. Can anyone challenge it? Karma's making his way through the middle sector, coming out of turn 19 through 20 and 21, using the full width of the racetrack. Only two corners remain. Around turn 22, then turn 23, Karma will cross the line to jump up to P3, improving by just under 2/10 to set a 35.6. G-Force Zach makes his way through the final two corners. Can he improve? No, he can't. What about Plevs? He can improve by 3/10. He jumps up to P6 with a 35.7. And I think ladies and gentlemen. That's qualifying over. And GeForce Crichton is well and truly on pole position with a 1 minute 34.774.
And it's bad news actually for Ford. He hasn't set a lap time. He's gonna start last.
Correct. So, with that drama earlier in qualifying, he didn't have enough time to try and set a proper flying lap. So,
I think he's gonna quite regret going into the pits, because his lap time actually was really good. The time he was setting before, I was checking the race director and the splits, and it would have put him I think in P3 at least.
Well, I suppose that's the gambles you take during this kind of qualifying session. I mean, he chose to let the track evolve a little bit more to try and get a better lap time. But unfortunately, it's a double-bladed sword. Because
he just said would have had pole by 2 times. Didn't have a chance to get a lap in. Yeah.
Two-edged sword. 440. So he'll start from plumb last. At the opposite end of the field, we have GeForce Crichton on pole with his teammate Fiery Hours second. Karma is third, followed by Leo, Wogboy, Plebs, Chip, Zach, Bags, Liddell, and Spilly rounds out the 10. Then average only, Scotty, Rude, Roscoe Arm, Grim Reaper, Hillez, and Ford would start from the back from 17th place. Quite possibly the worst place to start in this sort of race. It can't get much worse. It could be Monaco. That's about it. That's as bad as it gets, but he's got a lot of work to do. Look at that. Oh, gee whiz. That's a lot of rain. And big puddles in the pit lane too. You hate to be those marshals. Have absolutely no cover whatsoever. Be drenched. Yeah, I could see the full wet tyre as well in the Mercedes garage, so bound to be full wet conditions. Session time starting to count down.
Oh well.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it'll be a interesting race. Hopefully. You never know with F1 League racing. Sometimes when a race looks boring on the face of it, it turns out to be a pretty interesting race. So, maybe let's just be a little bit optimistic. See what happens.
A sudden change in weather conditions would be actually fun to watch. Let's see. Maybe towards the end of the race. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. That change to intermediate tyres and that sort of split second decision making that the drivers have to make in those sort of. I saw Fiery Hour completely sideways out of the exit of turn 3. I'm pretty sure I saw that. And Crichton's, they're both doing it. Yeah, fair enough. They're both just sliding their cars about. And Crichton, he's doing that thing. What race was that where 40 flew off on a outlap? Was that France? No. What race was that?
I don't remember.
But Crichton, he's pushing the car a little bit just to see where the grip is on an outlap. That's why he's driving so hard, and Fiery Hour is spun.
Yep.
Well, he's found where the grip isn't.
Surely.
So he'll write that down in his little mental notebook. Don't do that. So, yeah, everyone's on the full wet tyre. Get rid of that graphic. We'll keep the interval up, because why not? Doesn't take up too much space.
I just had a full wet race around here yesterday on GP mode, and the drivers can go to the end easily.
Fiery Hour put it into the wall, I think.
Again?
Yeah, but on a straight.
Hey, at least his tires will be hot.
You were saying, Marco?
I was saying, the pace difference if you pit, it's not that big. plus, if you keep in count, then you're gonna be, ooh, what a drift from Crichton. Plus, like, with the traffic ahead, I think pitting isn't the option.
No.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe there will be a safety car that can help us, like, mix things up. I don't know. Let's see.
It will be a race of attrition. Whoever survives and drives the best will end up winning. So, any small mistake any of the drivers do, it will be incredibly costly.
Yeah, I'll watch the action from the back. And
yeah, that might be a good idea. Because if those guys at the back will get sort of the perfect view of all the accidents in front, if there are any.
Well, with all the spray, I don't think they're gonna get a better.
Oh, they're not gonna get the best view ever. You're right. You're quite right. But now, I think Hillez and Ford are lined up into their respective grid slots, so we're all set to go. We've got 17 cars here tonight, a fairly healthy field. It's not a full field, but it's a healthy field. We've got 31 laps here in front of us and 10 red lights, and we are underway here in Singapore. Crichton gets a fairly decent launch. So does one of the Aston Martins in the midfield. Heading down towards turn 1. It's 4 wide there between the two McLarens, the Alpine of Leo and I believe the Ferrari of GeForce Wogboy. They're coming around turn 3 now, heading through 4, up towards turn 5. The Mercedes, they've already got a little bit of a margin to the McLarens as Leo overtakes Wogboy for P5, although Wogboy's taken that position back. They're heading down towards turn 7. The best overtaking spot on the racetrack. Spilly, well, he's close, but not quite close enough to go down the inside at 7. Oh, it's a mightily long train of cars here. And making their way around turn 9. Bags, chips, side by side. Very tight on the exit as they head around the left-hander. Field bunches up just a little bit. They're all trying to avoid one another as Ford has moved himself up to P13. So from 17th, he's already made up 4 places. A pretty healthy start from the Williams driver. He still has a lot of work to do to get to the front. Over the Anderson Bridge towards the hairpin of turn 13. Oh, as Grim Reaper tried to look down the inside. 40's looking around the outside, and he gets the traction down as Grim Reaper. He had a bit of a wiggle there. Oh, and so does 40. But 40 gets in front. He's into P12. Fairly tame start. Nothing too dramatic just yet. Mercedes-Benz has got a bit of a gap to the McLarens in P3 and 4. Karma's keeping up with Fiery Hour, just. And Fiery Hour's keeping up with his teammate as 40 is overtaken average only. Yellow flags are about. What's that for? Oh, it's Grim Reaper, he's out! He has crashed, and we have a virtual safety car. That's turned into a proper one. And average only has got a missing front wing. Bags is into the pits as well. Has he got a front wing change? Yes. Yes, he does. So I think average only was the initial cause of the yellow flags in Sector 3. Oh! As Crichton! GeForce Crichton has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. He has got a penalty. He has not been paying attention to the Delta. How about that?
Oh my goodness.
He's just gone and shot himself in the foot. Already. Yes. 40's had a great start. See, they're up 7 places. Got a few good starts. Hillez up 4, Spilly up 3, Plevs up 2. But Crichton, he's going to be a long way down. As soon as we go back on the green flag running, he's got a drive-through for speeding.
Oops. Oh my, yeah. Well.
Huh.
I don't know if I can say it now, but shit happens.
Quite right. It does happen. Especially in this game. More often than not.
Yeah, the Delta is really... Sometimes it's really hard to handle.
Stupid.
Like...
It can be really stupid.
Oh, and Everidge as well.
Yeah, he's got a drive through too. Because it dips on you, like, suddenly. And it's very difficult to read. You almost have to just be solely looking at the delta and driving with your peripheral vision. You just got to be focused on that delta until it goes away. Because if you're not focused on that delta, it will catch you off guard, and you will get a drive-through if you're not paying attention. Wow. Those two boys, they'll have a lot of work to do. And a lot of praying, because they'll need another safety car in order to save their race, so...
Yeah. Well, I think Crichton has got the pace, like, to get a points finish at least. About average only... Yeah, this drive-through, like, won't help, but he's last anyway. So...
Roscoe, he's in. Why are you in, Roscoe? Coming up to his pit stall. This is just a regulation tyre change. New set of wet weather tyres going onto the car. I mean, why not? Towards the back. Might lose a place or two, but might as well get some fresh tyres on your car. That way you're not... Oh, as he cuts the white line at pit exit. Just shows you how little grip there is on that part of the racetrack. Oh my goodness. Yeah, might as well. Go in, put some fresh tyres on. That way you're not worrying as much towards the end.
I just hope the field will bunch up in this lap, then we can get a restart.
I think we might be waiting one more. Oh,
yeah.
It'd be close. It might be a late pull in by the safety. Yeah, because it does do that. When the field catches up at the very last moment, it does just go in.
Yeah, I think that can help is that, like, the second sector split here, like, it's like the first sector in general is really long. So let's see. It's close.
It is close. I think we'll be doing one more. I think. If it goes in like at this moment, I'll be a bit furious. Just like this late, like really. No, it's gonna do one more. It's gonna do one more. Okay, good. Thank the racing gods for that. Nobody likes a late call from the safety car. It just usually creates a big mess with a very late call. Because it doesn't give the leader enough time to try and control the field and do what he needs to do for the restart. And I think the game still has that auto throttle thingy, I think. So you can't pass the safety car, so the game sort of controls how much throttle you have. I think it still does that. Not too sure. Yeah. It's another unfortunate thing about Singapore. When the safety car does come out, laps are long. Laps are very long behind the safety car. It'd be interesting to see what Crichton and Average Only will do. All they can do is just pray for a safety car. Oh well, Zach, it happens. If you're too far over the delta, then they'll pin you. It's just the way of the game, unfortunately. That's why I always just keep looking at the delta. Because I don't ever take my eyes off it. Safety car is in this lap. Mr. Crichton will control the field, but he won't be controlling the field for long. He'll have to go in and serve that drive-through, so we'll average only down in 16th. Some fiery hour. He needs to be on top of his game on this restart. He's got to be ready to take the lead when Crichton goes into the pits. Underneath the grandstand, you can still see it's very much bucketing it down here in Singapore. Doesn't look like it's going to let up anytime soon. Rightio. Crichton sets off. Oh. Oh, and he spun! He caught it! What a catch! And we're back on the green flag racing. Oh, and Fiery Hours! Oh my goodness, that's an even better catch! And Karma goes through! Oh, hang on, they're ghosting through one another. Wait, what? How is it? Oh, they're not ghosting anymore. Oh, they're definitely not ghosting anymore. I swear I saw that car go through the McLaren at turn 1. But my goodness! The two Benzes almost killed each other on the restart. Crichton lost it at the final corner. Then he cut in front of his teammate. Fiery Hour then took evasive action, and he almost put it into the pit wall. But he had a fantastic save to keep it off the wall as G4 Zach and Ford are battling for position here. And that's pretty tight there at turn 8. They almost, who was it? I think Russell and Grosjean? Was it those two? Put each other into the wall there? I think it was those two.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Grosjean and Russell.
Yeah. What was that,
19.
19. Oh, God. That was 2019. Man,
the last Singapore race, actually.
COVID has really screwed up my sort of timeline of remembering stuff as 40. Has lost the back end, but he keeps the car straight. My goodness. What? Like, these two almost ended each other's races there on that restart. That was manic. And Plebs is all the way down into 12th now. He was at the front.
Yeah, exactly. I was wondering what happened to him.
Yeah. I only just noticed that. I'm sure we'll get an explanation at some point as Crichton was awfully sideways there, and he ducks into pit lane to serve his drive-through penalty. Average only has already served his down in 16th as Fiery Hour sets fastest lap with a 2-minute .1. Now Karma's got a 1.9 second margin to try and close in to Karma. To try and close into Fiery Hour, I should say. Wog Boy's just behind, same with Leo, Spilly, Chip, Zach, Ford, Scotty. Hillers and Plebs are battling for 10th place. Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened to Plebs. He was 4th, I think, on the restart, just behind his teammate. And we saw what happened between those top 3. So Plebs obviously got involved in that in some way. I just didn't see it.
Oh, they're side by side with us.
Yep. And Hillers sort of leaves the door open on the outside and lets Plebs go through. So Plebs is into P10.
And it's actually looking really good for Ford now. Like, at the start, who would have told that? Now he's gaining points on Crichton at the moment.
Yep. That championship lead is shrinking for the Mercedes driver.
I think he will have a good run right now with Zach. It's a bit of wheel spin.
Oh, a lot of spray. Look at all the moisture hitting the camera lens. My goodness. You'd be tiptoeing around the circuit. You'd be lightly turning the steering wheel just to try not put too much input in. Oh, it'd be just horrible. Horrible. Underneath the grandstand. Coming around turn 19. Those walls, they're always looming, those walls. If you make a tiny mistake, you'll have a meet and greet with them. Fiery Hour sets another fastest lap with a 58.5. See, they're being very gingerly on the throttle there, 40. That's the same with everybody. You want to be very careful with your throttle inputs, as Roscoe Arm sets a new fastest lap with a 58.4. Around turn 3. Trying to get the traction down, but there's that little wiggle again. This is a really important corner. He needs traction out of here. He needs a good run. Oh, Chip has a wiggle. Oh, 40 has a little wiggle. Yeah, turn 5 would be the really important corner. Try and get the traction down to try and make moves, as Zach is doing exactly that. Down the inside, forces Chip a little wide, and 40 invites himself through to try and take 2 positions here in 2 corners. Oh, and he does it. As Zach, I think he brushed the wall. I'm not sure, but I think he brushed that wall there at turn 8. But that's a nice bit of driving there from 40. Just pounced on the opportunity, and he's gained 2 places out of it. Poor Chip, he's lost 2. As Crichton has overtaken Rude for P14. Rude is a fair way behind this train, so he might have made a mistake when I wasn't watching as well.
That squabble between Ford, Zach and Chip was the best example of like 2 dogs strive for a bone and the third runs away with it.
Yep. Perfect way to put it.
Yeah, exactly. This is really common in F1 actually. You are behind someone fighting and then you get the best out of it.
Yeah, that's it. It's about waiting for the right moment to try and go for the move. And with Zach and Chip battling side by side, they were both compromised. They were both going slowly. So 40 put the car where it needed to be, and he got both of them in 2 corners. Just nice, simple. And they all got through, I think, unscathed. The only question mark, I think, is with G-Force Zach, because he was awfully close to that wall, and I think he did brush it. So he might have a little bit of damage as Crichton sets fastest lap, as he's trying to close the gap between himself and Roscoe Arm to try and get on the back of this train. But yeah, 40 up into P6, it's great stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And actually Plebs is in P8, so you overtook Chip as well.
Yeah, they're both on the recovery, it seems. 40 from qualifying, Plebs from whatever happened on that restart. Both chipping their way. Well, Plebs won the race on Sunday for Pacific Elite. Drove superbly well in these conditions. So he's got enough experience already. He did 31 laps a few days ago in these sort of conditions. So yeah, he
knows how to do it.
That's it. And he's demonstrating that now, making some moves, getting back up the leaderboard. Trying to get up to this fight. Meanwhile, look at Fiery Hour. He's driving very well out in front. 5-second lead to Karma, who is leading a train of 5 cars with Wogboy in P3, Leo in P4, Spilly in P5, then 40 in P6, and it's a bit of a gap to Zach, a gap of 1.3 seconds. Zach has Plebs behind, and it's a bit of a gap to Chip in P9. And Scotty runs out to 10. What's happened?
40, like Spilly braked a bit early and 40 was about to collect him.
Ooh.
Yeah, and the chicane. But right now they look like unscathed, both of them.
As they now begin lap 9 of 31. We're not even at the 1/3 mark. We've got a long way to go in this race. But the field is still remarkably close together. I'll give the drivers a lot of credit. They're all battling with one another in their own little way. It's not necessarily the side-by-side battling. It's just applying pressure to try and make the car in front make a mistake, as Karma does exactly that at turn 5. Wogboy's got to run. It doesn't go to the inside at turn 7. Yeah, just apply pressure, try and make the car in front, make a mistake, and then try and pounce, try and get the position. And that's exactly what happened with Ford, Zach, and Chip. Chip made a little mistake at turn 5, which allowed Zach to go down the inside at turn 7. And then Ford got the pair of them, because they were both going slowly. It's Wogboy right on the back of Karma here. As they go over the Anderson Bridge towards the hairpin of turn 13. Always, Leo's got Spilly very much for company.
And watch out, because Crichton has joined the pack almost already. He's 2 seconds down on Roscoe. And he's showing real pace, I can tell you that.
He just needs to make the moves, which we saw him do in France. A rather lovely charge to watch from GeForce Crichton in France, until he met Fernando Leo is a weirdo Alonso, and those two had an amazing scrap for third place. It was a fantastic scrap in every sense of the word. But there's quite a big difference between Circuit Paul Ricard and Marina Bay Street Circuit in terms of overtaking capabilities. So Crichton's going to have to use every trick in the book to try and find a way past everybody, because it definitely won't be easy.
He's crazy. He's having gips of oversteer in every exit, but he's still gaining time. I'm not surprised anymore by this, but no. It looks like he's on the edge.
Yeah, I think with Crichton, there's no point trying to understand what he can do. Just accept it, and just say, "Yep."
We're all witnesses.
Yep. He can just do that because he's Crichton, you know. So we just accept that fact. We don't work out why. We just accept. As Roscoe gets a 3-second time penalty. Plebs is working hard on GeForce Zach to try and find a way by. Zach lost a little bit of touch to GeForce Ford. Just a little bit though. He closed up to the Williams. He's just lost a little bit of time now. Oh, Crichton. I want to see this. Roscoe
Oh, and Roscoe lets him go.
Wide. Well, that's how he gets
I think he let him go. I think he let him go because he's got a penalty, so it's not worth it to fight him, actually.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's twice enough.
Maybe Roscoe will say that too. Instead of saying he made a mistake and outbreak himself. I just let him through. You know, just being kind. You know, I didn't make a mistake. What are you talking about?
I had complete control of my car.
I knew what I was doing. It might have looked like an accident, but it was completely deliberate. All right. Crichton's next target is Bags in 12th place. And he has a bit of a wiggle. Oh, so does Crichton. What the? What the? Catch that! The oversteer he got on corner exit. And just the right amount of counter steer. Just to straighten the car up. I don't think he lifted. I want to bring up telemetry. Screw it. I want to see. I just want to see. The rest of the gaps are pretty stagnant at this point, so we might as well watch and, you know, try and work this. Look at that! Fantastic! That's completely sideways. Alright, down into turn 7. Hard on brakes, third gear. Gets on the power. Look at nice and stable on the exit that time, but didn't even bother short shifting. He has enough throttle control to just power it out of the corner. No problem. And the benefit with not short shifting is that you have a lot more horsepower at your disposal, whereas short shifting, you have more torque. Coming through, the Singapore Sling a little bit of locking up there on the front left, but that doesn't hinder him at all. Alright, over the Anderson Bridge, into the hairpin. Oh, first gear, short shifting, a bit of oversteer, gets the power down. Oh, he's just not afraid. He just does whatever he wants to do. Oh, his Bags runs a little bit wide, loses time. Coming through turn 15, then 16 and 17. You can't really get past here. It's more or less one lane road. You just can't pass. So his best shot is at turn 1. So Crichton will know that he will need to get 22 and 23 pretty spot on to try and make a move. And again, that sort of counter steer, that oversteer he gets. Turn 21. Bag's actually got a pretty decent run through those final 2 corners. Pulls away. He kept that car nice and straight and allowed him to put the power down as Gilles runs wide. Coming around turn 3. Then through 4. Up towards turn 5. Yeah.
Wobbo is really close to Karma.
Down
1
towards...
tenth away.
Doesn't go for
touched.
it. Oh, that is awfully close. I reckon they might have touched. They were really, really close to one another there at turn 7. Yeah. Look at this train. Got Karma, Wogboy, Leo, Spilly, 40. As Leo had a bit of a run there on Wogboy, I noticed. Zach is on this train. Same with Plebs. Chip, he's 2.3 seconds behind, but if he can set consistent lap times, he'll be able to catch up, no trouble.
And Crichton has got backs.
Through the chicane.
Before the chicane. Oh my goodness.
He's just sliding the car everywhere.
I am sure he would be surely a great rally driver, this guy.
Maybe. He has a great deal of car control, which is the most important thing to have as a rally driver. You need a lot of car control.
I want to see him running a WRC stage in Rally Sweden.
As Roscoe got a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. Why have you done that? How did you get a 5 second? Must have did it at 17. That's the only place I can think he would have done it. And
watch out,
yeah.
because it's pretty close to Illes. Crichton, I mean.
Here we go.
If he doesn't get much dirty air, oh my god. Yeah.
Gee whiz.
Hey, I would have crashed like 4 times already.
That's right. He would have crashed 4 times.
Oh, and he goes on the inside.
What? You're kidding. And what? Oh, and Gilles leaves the room. Coming around turn 4. Oh, they both wiggle. Crichton gets the power down and he's still wiggling. And Gilles has to go back to 12. He found a gap in that.
Oh.
How do you find a gap in that? Like, granted to Gilles, he left racing room when Crichton decided to go for it. Yeah, fair play. But still, there was enough room in Crichton's eyes. And he made it work. Now he has to get by Scotty. And he's back into the top 10. Ugh. Meanwhile, with this massive train... Oh, as Ford looks down the inside here of Spilly. Spilly fights back on the outside. He gets the power down. Oh, they touch. As they head down towards turn 14. Spilly hangs on to P5. Saw there 40 going down the inside. Spilly just driving around the outside, keeping nice and calm. Puts the power down, gets the traction and keeps P5. Meanwhile, Crichton, he's behind Scotty now. Getting a face full of moisture coming off the hearse. Coming underneath the grandstand. See there, Crichton's using all of the curbs, he's not afraid. He smothers off, he uses every bit of curb he has available to him. Through 22 and 23. Again, doesn't quite get the power down as much as he would like. Will he go down the inside at 3 again? No. Doesn't go for it. Again. I wonder if he's got his diff wound up to 100 or not. He is getting a lot of oversteer on the exits. And here he comes.
Have a good run now.
Yep. Down the inside into turn 7. Scotty can't do much about that. So Crichton's back into the top 10.
And Crichton is back in clean air as well. I was watching the lap times as well on the race director, and he's like when he's in clean air, he's 8 times faster than Fariawa in P1.
That's
so.
That's quick. That's properly quick. This midfield bat. Oh, touch! 40 hit the wall. Actually, no, I think he hit Spilly. There, at the hairpin. He had another go at the hairpin of turn 13 and still couldn't get it done on Spilly. There's G4 Zach players. Chip is now closing in. He's kept out of trouble, the Red Bull driver, and he's catching up to this train. Meanwhile, Fiery Hour, he's loving life at the moment. He's got a 10-second lead, minding his own business. And so long as it remains, green for the rest of the race, he should be fine. So long as he doesn't do what 40 did just then, he'll be fine. He was massively sideways. Oh, as he cuts too much there and gets a penalty. And he's weaving about, Spilly, mate! Could you please let me by? Or he might be more frustrated at himself for getting a time penalty. Either or. Or maybe it's both. Who knows? But generally, with weaving, it means he's upset with something.
And Plebs as well.
How was that turn 3? No, sorry, turn 5. He done that?
Maybe cutting the curb on the inside.
Must be, yeah. Or perhaps he ran wide on entry. That's another place where you can get a warning at turn 5. If you put all 4 wheels over the white line, yeah, the game will give you a warning for that.
And Crichton has joined the party already.
Yeah,
he's 2 seconds away from Chip. He's gained 2 seconds in the last stop.
I wish I had that sort of confidence in these sort of conditions. I don't even have that sort of confidence in the dry, let alone in the wet. As this train is still chugging along, and it still has Karma in front. Wogboy's minding his own business in second place. Just waiting for his moment to strike. Closing in on the halfway mark now. Yep. We're only halfway through this. We've still got another half to go. So a lot of racing. Bags, the 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings. Crichton, he's now only a second behind. He's well and truly flying up there. Well, boy, he has a whole heap of battery. He has 90% at his disposal. Karma, yeah, 90 as well. Crichton sets fastest lap because, of course, he does. Leo's got 70. Spilly's got heaps. Ford has heaps. They all got battery to spend. The lowest in the top 10 is Crichton. What do you know? That's such a Crichton habit. He dumps so much of his battery. So much of it, and he still has enough to fight for position. Always quite fascinating. Oh, he locks up big time. Pulled it up though. He did pull it up. Oh. This reminds me of a qualifying lap he did ages ago in an F2 race at Spa. Like, he was doing this sliding, counter steering in an F2 car at Spa-Francorchamps in full wet conditions. Just there are some people that can do things that just are mesmerizing. Just they can just do things. It's just straight up awesome. As Roscoe Arm overtakes Bags, who was going a bit slowly there. What's up with him? He's going very slowly. Damage? His front wing looks okay.
Maybe just a bit of overheating, like making a mistake.
Maybe, yeah. That's a fair call.
Oh my.
Leo's in. Leo is into the pit lane.
Okay.
Why is he in?
Crichton is up into P8.
This is a designated pit stop for Leo. He's going on to fresh tyres, so...
Well...
I don't know about that.
Pitting first is always the worst option in the web, especially on this track. Because if the safety car comes out now, it's gonna be P14.
Yep.
Like, I don't know. There's not a big undercut in wet conditions. Like, I would never pit first.
And he's dropped himself out of this fight. He's down at 14th, 13 seconds behind Bags. I wonder if he doesn't know that he could do a nose stop. Because
or
obviously...
maybe his rears were worn.
That too.
Maybe.
But you got to keep going. You got to take that risk. Surely. In these conditions, where you have the opportunity to not go into the pits, period, I think you just got to tough it out and hope you make it. Because, now he's lost a whole chunk of time that he's going to have a hard time getting that back. Because, as you said, the time difference between these tyres and new ones isn't too big, as Karma's made a mistake. Through 16 and 17, he now has the whole train on his gearbox as they head underneath the grandstand around turn 19. He maintains his second place, but the drivers behind are quite a bit closer than what they were before. Oh, Spilly gets close to the wall there at the exit of 21 through 22 and 23. Onto the main straight again. Does Wogboy do anything? He's using his battery. So is Karma, I would think. Through turn 1, then turn 2. Then around turn 3. Spilly's right there in Wogboy's wing mirrors. 40 rather is close as well. Zach's lost a little bit of time. Roscoe Arm a 3-second time penalty. I think that might be his third for tonight. I think his second. He's got 3 penalties. He got a 5-second for corner cutting. I remember that now. Round turn 8. Look at them. It's a big train. Alright. Now, what does Crichton do in this sort of situation? You're at the back of the train. You're kind of stuck. How do you make moves?
Needs to be really patient now, but wait for it.
There you go.
Yes,
oh, they make contact there at 13. Tries to get the traction down, but Plebs gets a better run. They're side by side heading down towards turn 14. It's tight. It's very tight. Entering the right-hander. It's tight on the exit too, but Plebs hangs on to P7. So that doesn't work.
I think it was it was a late move on the airpin. Couldn't stop the car as he wanted to. But in the end, it was fair.
Nothing major. Just a little bit of rubbing. Rubbin's racing. And Plebs hangs on. A nice bit of driving there at the exit of the hairpin. Got the traction down. Then just left Crichton enough room at 14. Compromised his line a little bit and he was able to hang on to P7 well and truly. That's a good bit of driving there.
My goodness.
Yeah, I know, right? He's sliding everywhere and he's catching everything. It's like a talented...
Yeah, exactly. I've got my heart like at 150 BPM right now. It's just watching he's on board.
Yeah, that's fast to slap on those fresh tyres. But it's sort of like an arrogant talented. He's like sliding this car around like it's nothing. And he's getting away with it. It's just like... why can't I do that? Because as soon as I lose the car, the very first time I do it, I never save it. It goes into a wall or it goes into a gravel trap if it's not at a racetrack like Singapore or something. You know?
And it's not, as you said, like he's not afraid because what happens to most of the drivers, even myself, is that like when the car gets unstable, then mentally I'm like kind of driving safer, you know, because but he's not.
In those sort of moments as well, you tend to panic. Like, you either... Oh, hello. Yellow flags are about... That's Chip. Chip has made error at the hairpin. And he's dropped down the order. Hello, Roscoe. Bye, Roscoe. As Average Only has retired in the pit lane, he's had enough as Chip hits the back of Roscoe Arm. And Roscoe Arm bumps up. Oh, and into the back goes Bags Liddell. Into the back of Chip. Oh, dear. And we have a safety car. We have a safety car. You're kidding. From that. You're serious. A safety car. There's debris at best. That should be a virtual. But no, we got a proper safety car.
And now what do the drivers do? And Crichton goes into the pits.
Yeah, he's going in. The rest stay out. What about Scotty? Scotty's coming in. Hilles is coming in. So Crichton won't lose track position. Or he'll be tight.
Roscoe is going into the pits.
Bags is definitely going in. He's got heaps of damage. Chip is in. Leo stays out. Well, if Average Only was here for another couple of seconds, then he would have had the safety car he needed.
Yeah, exactly. But also, like, his race would have been like, oh my god, what's happened to Crichton? Oh, he's gone to neutral and cut the entry, but he went to neutral and stopped the car, so yeah, he didn't gain anything.
I see.
Well, actually, I was watching the track map, and Fiery Hour was really close to basically join the safety car when the safety car was already out. So, like, he should have stayed like behind the safety car in like, I mean, it was just a time window of 2 or 3 seconds, but that would have cost him a lot because the others could have pitted like on new tires, and he would have been like under the safety car without the chance of pushing, you know. So yeah, it was really close.
Really close. But no. We'll see what he's up to here. Does he go in? Yep, he's going in. He has enough time in hand to do this. But the Delta will be still out, so the drivers won't be pushing just yet.
Yeah, but 22 seconds away, and then the drivers will push from the start-finish line. Oh, and Leo's lost it, and Crichton has got Leo. I think Leo's crashed. Yeah. Oh no. No, he's got his front wing.
He's got, well, to us anyway, he has his front wing.
Watch out for Fiery Hour. Watch out, I told you. And Kama gets the position.
A few of them get positions.
Yeah.
And Fiery Hour drops into 4th place, but he's now on fresh rubber. So...
He had a massive gap, 22 seconds, but in the end it wasn't enough.
No. Just shows you how long the pit lane is here at Singapore.
Yeah.
Like, you have all the variables to try and help you out. You have wet weather conditions, full wet weather conditions as well, and a huge 22-second gap to the car behind it. That's still not enough. So there you go. I thought that would have been enough, but no, I was wrong. I was completely wrong. So there we are, Fiery Hour in 4th. But he's the highest placed driver on fresh tyres. Next is GeForce Ford in 6th place, followed by Plevs and Crichton. Scotty as well has got fresh tyres. Leo's got relatively fresh tyres, so him pitting hasn't hurt him too greatly, but it still hurt him. He's lost a few positions still. Hilles is next.
He could have been P8.
Yeah.
Actually, without that mistake, he could have been P8, which was basically what he wanted.
Oh, that's right. He made that mistake earlier. That's right.
Yeah.
So he would have been higher. Yeah. Still, I think he was up in the top 5 somewhere before he boxed. Yep. So. Intermediate tyres for Roscoe Arm.
Oh my.
Is that the right choice?
Well, he's got nothing to lose. He's got nothing to lose. I don't think it's the right choice, but
I mean, yeah, might as well.
He's last in the
I
end.
suppose Roscoe can find out if these inters are any good. You know, give them a bit of a push. See what they're capable of. Doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't quite look as heavy. That could be because of the lack of spray too. Think about it. But we'll find out. Like, I can't see an obvious dry line yet on the racetrack. Nothing obvious anyway. So. And none of the other drivers have done it, so Jeff hasn't told them to pit for intermediates. So. That's so the only time Jeff is useful. Is telling you to change onto either a set of inters or onto the slick tyre. That's about it.
I think the main topic right now will be both Mercedes sending it. Yeah, the compromise. I mean, Fariara compromised, of course, his track position. But if he feels confident enough, he can get Billy, Karma, and Workboy. Then he's gonna like win anyways. We'll see.
He has the pace too. We saw that. Like, as soon as he got into the lead, he just drove away, and he kept driving away. But it's a matter of his racecraft in these sort of conditions. Can he get by those three? And those three aren't the easiest customers to get around. You got Spilly, Wogboy, and Karma. So
yeah,
see if 5 hours up to the challenge.
It actually helps us as spectators. Like if they would have stayed out, like it could have been like more boring, like restart, so to say.
Yeah, we got a few things to look out for, as you mentioned earlier, with both Mercedes-Benzes looking to charge their way forward. Potentially G-Force Ford as well, maybe Plevs too. He might want to try and make some moves early, try and get up towards the pointy end of the field. So we're still doing another lap, I think. Oh,
yeah.
Yep. Safety car lights haven't gone out just yet, so we're doing another lap. Oh, that's for sure. That's yeah, no. So we've got a few things to look out for, and penalties will likely play a part in this too if any more drivers get them. Already Ford, Plevs, Hilles, Bags, Rude, and Roscoe, they all have pens at the moment, but we still have heaps of racing to get through. So still plenty of time for drivers to get warnings, get penalties. Hopefully we won't see the drama that we saw on the previous restart. We got Karma controlling the field this time around. And the Mercedes-Benzes are nowhere near one another, so they might be later on, who knows. Roscoe Arms losing time, I think, on those tyres to Rude. Will he box? Nope. Stays out. He's just hoping that the conditions will get better later in the race. That's all he's doing now. It's just a big gamble from Roscoe Arm. It might pay off, who knows. He has 6 seconds now. I think he served his 5. Yep, he's got 6 seconds. Dear me. So, yeah, he might as well take a gamble, see what happens. Oh. But you've got Euro tier later, don't you?
Yep.
Looking forward to that?
Well, if it doesn't rain, then yes. No, I'm joking. I usually have fun on wet races, but I don't know. I've been playing a lot of another game this week.
I think we all have, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. Like, I'm usually like I've got the pace like to get into the podium, but we'll see. Singapore is always dangerous.
I agree. Oh, as Rude has got a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with Bags. Wait, what? These two are miles apart. How did they... What? How did they collide? They're miles apart. Okay, cool, whatever, fine. I don't know.
Oh, actually, Ford and Plebs pitted?
Yeah, they did. Both of them boxed. As Leo and Hillis changed positions for some reason. Leo's lost a whole heap of time. Hang on a minute. What's going on back here? What are these fellas up to? Oh, and a spin! Chip puts it into the wall as the leaders restart and begin lap 24 of 31 here in Singapore. Karma will lead into turn 1. Wogboy applying pressure as they go through 3. Oh, hello.
And Zach.
What's tied into turn 3. 40 gets the drive out of the corner and gets P5. Can Plebs... Oh
my god.
He got sideways. That's what he did there at the exit of turn 3. Through turn 5. And that's Crichton. Hello, Crichton. How are you doing, Crichton? My god, you're close, Crichton. As they go around turn 6, dumping his battery. Crichton, will he go for the move here on Plebs? He's looking the long way round here at 7. Can he get the drive? Not quite. Plebs gets the nose in front. Crichton has the inside line, though. Around turn 8. Oh, it's tight on the exit there. But Plebs is still fighting. Down the inside. Contact into turn 9. Crichton almost goes into the Rolex barrier on the outside. But Crichton, he's into 7th place. They're going around the Singapore Sling now. Turn 9, 10, then 11 and 12. Oh, it's brilliant. Crichton. Oh,
Crichton again. Oh,
that's fantastic. Just sideways through the chicane. No problem at all. We had drama up and down the field on that restart. Had drivers at the back have some moments. And drivers at the front, they're having some battles. Good to see. Making their way through the 3rd sector now. Karma is still leading the way. Wogboy is still right behind. Spilly is still in 3rd. Oh, a bit of oversteer there. Oh, Zach got awfully close to that barrier there at turn 18. Don't think he hit it. And he was awfully close. Oh, and again, Crichton sideways out to 21. Where will he go? Gets decent power down, but he doesn't have enough momentum to try and send it on Zach here. Through turn 1. Then turn 2. Oh, he lost it at 2. He hits Zach. And Zach almost goes into the wall on the outside of turn 3. But manages to save his Alfa Romeo. And Plebs looking around the outside into turn 5. He can't get it done. He stays behind G-Force Crichton. Zach gets a superb exit out of turn 5. Pulls away from the Mercedes-Benz. Plebs is closing in. Will he go to the inside? No, he won't. He will stay behind. Oh, but Crichton, he misses the apex ever so slightly, but Plebs can do nothing. He was essentially right behind Crichton at that moment. He couldn't take advantage of that. Coming around turn 9 now. Getting a face full of spray. They head down towards the Singapore Sling. You can't really do too much here at the Sling. Sort of have to follow the leader, essentially. Sparks flying off the Mercedes-Benz there. Through 11, then 12. Oh, sideways again. Coming up and around the hairpin. G-Force Zach doesn't get a great run through there. Crichton's close. Uses up a whole heap of battery. Heading down into turn 14. Deep on the brakes. Same with Zach though. He was very committed on the brakes there. Heading down towards turn 15. 16. And then turn 17. Can't do much through this section. Just have to follow. Can't really attack. Just have to manage yourself and not make any mistakes. Going through 20 and 21. Crichton's close. Doesn't slide the car this time. Kept it nice and straight. Through 22 and 23. Now, last time he tried to move here, he lost the back end at turn 2. Went down the inside of G-Force Zach and almost took him out. This time he's not close enough to try and send it into the hairpin. Oh, Plebs is awfully close though. Hello, Plebs. You could see Crichton's wing mirror fill up with orange there at that moment. That's, as Crichton hit the wall. He hit the wall at turn 5. I heard a big brush of the wall. I'm not sure if he's got damage as Plebs is trying to look down the inside into 7. Crichton goes deep to hang on to the position. Now, looking at his front wing, it looks okay, but again, the spectator cam doesn't really show damage too well. So
I think the hit wasn't that hard.
Don't think so?
Nah, I don't think it was that hard. Like, I don't think he's got damage. And Fariawa is not overtaking the guys in front.
He's made a mistake. That's what he's done. And now he's got Ford right behind. In fact, he's alongside, heading around the hairpin of 13. They bump as they head onto the straightaway. They head down towards the right-hander of turn 14. Fiery Hour has the inside line. 40, can he go deep? Keep it on the outside. No, instead Fiery Hour goes straight on. He outbrakes himself. Lovely flick spin though. 10 out of 10 for Star right there. An execution, but he's now down in 10th place. Oh my goodness me. I thought 40 was going to...
Spilly's out.
Oh, he's still running. Fortunately, the ghosting system was operating there, but he's made a mistake at turn 18.
He went into the wall. He's got front wing damage.
Yep, missing end plate on the left-hand side of that wing. He'll have to go into the pits. Oh, no, he's going to... Oh, well, he thought about going in, but decided not to do it. I mean, he's going to end up down in 11th place if he pitted or not, so... I think he should have just boxed there. Oh my goodness me. Drama. With 5 laps to go. Here at Singapore. Karma's leading the way. Wogboy in second. Ford in P3 after starting from 17th. G-Force Zach is in 4th place. He started from 8th on the grid. Crichton, he's in 5th after a drive-through penalty as Fiery Hour overtakes Spilly. Spilly tumbling down through the order with that damage. Yeah, he needs to get that fixed. He might be able to snag fastest lap if he pushes hard enough. Oh my goodness. I'm reckoning GeForce Ford, if he makes it to the end, will more than likely get driver of the day for that performance. This performance that he's put on in this race, driven very well.
And now it's actually key for Crichton to overtake Zach, because Ford can actually be 3 seconds away from Zach and still get this P3 because he's got a penalty. Let's not forget about it.
Yeah. As Leo has left the session, he's still driving. He's now in AI. Oh no, he's in P8. It's a pretty decent spot to be in. Solid points. Well, now his AI is behind the wheel, and I can tell you this, the AI is significantly slower. And it gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring a yellow flag? What? What yellow flag? When? Where? Where was the yellow? There wasn't any yellow flag indicator, was there? Unless I wasn't paying attention.
Oh my goodness, Crichton out of the last corner. It was basically sideways. This time more than usual.
More than usual, I see. Because I was going to say, sideways is pretty typical for Crichton, it seems. As Fiery Hour gets a 3-second penalty. Did he make a mistake, did he?
Yeah, he outbraked himself out of the last DRS zone 2 laps ago. While he was fighting with 40.
Oh, I thought you were talking about just then. At the hairpin.
No.
I heard you gasp, Fiery Hour. I thought he made a mistake.
No, I actually thought he was in front still, that's why.
Oh, right. No, he made a mistake ages ago fighting 40. Yeah, outbroke himself big time. Karma's still out in front, doing a great job hanging on to this lead. Wogboy looking left and right. Biding his time, I would think.
Shot for Ford. Maybe he can die.
He hits his G-Force compatriot, and Wogboy's in the wall. He's in the wall. He's ghosting, thank goodness, and players had to take avoiding action to avoid the Ferrari. Drama here in Singapore as Ford and Wogboy collide. at the hairpin of turn 13. And
Zach
Wogboy goes from
now.
second to fourth. And Crichton's onto the podium. And Zach is into P2. And Karma's now got a 1.9 second lead. That is diminishing, mind you, just by a little bit, I noticed. So it's not quite over yet.
Ford has got damage.
Oh, has he? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not
it's just
surprised
pushed
with
again.
that knock. There's a fairly big one into the back of Wogboy. I imagine Wogboy isn't too impressed about it. I don't think 40 would be too impressed about it either with what happened there. Here comes Scotty. He's in P7. He's looking great for a top 5 finish. So long as he keeps up with Plebs, he'll get P5 easily. And there's
I think
Wogboy.
Wogboy's got slight damage as well.
Yeah, there
Cannot
goes Plebs.
see it, but yeah.
And here comes Scotty. He's on the back of Wogboy. Can he get the drive? Yeah, he gets pretty decent drive, I'll give him credit. Zach closing in little by little. Fiery Hour overtakes GeForce Ford, who is trying to bat along with that damaged front wing. And here comes Scotty to take P5, so it could be a 4th place finish for Scotty. That would be a pretty solid effort from the Haas driver. Alright.
Yeah, poor Wogboy. He's having heaps of oversteer.
Not much he can do, unfortunately. He got hit from behind. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. It must be said though, it didn't look like the cleanest track rejoin as well from Wogboy.
No, you could see Plebs there turning hard left.
Yeah.
Had big slide as well to try and avoid Wogboy. But yeah, fortunately nothing bad happened after that collision between 40 and Wogboy. But it could have been a lot worse. And now Fiery Hour, he has to get by the Ferrari. Could you imagine that? You've been sitting in the podium places all race. So a race like this, and that happens. I'd be gutted if I was him. I'd be so down in the dumps right now. Just, yeah. 1.3 seconds is the gap, 2 laps to go. Has Zach got anything? Has Crichton got anything in the tank to try and challenge Karma for the race win here in Singapore? It's now a 3-horse race. This is it. Karma, Zach, Crichton. 3 cars, 1.8 seconds as Fiery Hour overtakes Wogboy for P6. The gap is now 8 tenths. Zach is closing in. He's on fresher rubber, is he? No, he's on the same Ace tyres. Okay.
And I think actually Crichton has got some damage because it doesn't look like he's turning the best way he could.
I agree. I reckon he might have something going on. Because he's on fresher tyres. He's only on 9-lap-old tyres.
Yeah.
So...
And after that crash into the wall, that light crash into the wall, he has never challenged Zach anymore.
No.
So
he might have actually got damage from that.
Yeah.
7 tenths is the margin as they go over the Anderson Bridge for the second last time into the hairpin of turn 13. Karma trying to keep a cool head, try and hang on to this lead. Zach doing all he can to close the gap. Then there's Plebs. He's closed in by half a second to Crichton through that complex. So I reckon he does have damage. I reckon. Because Plebs is driving pretty quickly here. Through 16, through 17. It's all tight at the front. With the amount of time we have left in the race, there won't be any safety cars to save anyone. No more VSCs. It's now a straight up race to the checkered flag. 4 cars in this group, 3 cars effectively in the fight. Who will claim the win here in Singapore? Well, let's find out. The leaders begin lap 31 of 31, the final lap of this Singapore Grand Prix, and the gap is 6 tenths as Chip has crashed. He has crashed at turns 11 and 12. He is out of the race. Coming around turn 3 now, the gap is half a second. Bags, a 3-second time penalty. They're going to dispense every percentage of battery life they have left in their cars as they head around turn 5 onto the straightaway.
Zach has gone a bit deep.
Here we go.
Zach is going to be deep. Let's see.
He's close, though. He is close. Will he send it on his compatriot? Heading down into turn 7. He looks to the inside, but doesn't go for the move. Around turn 7, up towards turn 8. Karma's still got a half-second margin. He's making that gap work. Zach isn't really in a position to attack. He's not close enough. He doesn't have enough momentum to try and get by. Heading down towards the Singapore Sling for the final time. Look at Zach close in. The gap is 3/10 as they head through turn 9. Towards the chicane of 11 and 12. Oh, the biffing and barging there at turn 12. Zach checking up. Crichton goes into the back of Zach, who goes alongside. It goes down the inside of G4 Zach. And Karma drives away. Karma's loving this because he's now got an 8/10 margin. Has Crichton taken Zach's chance of winning away? It's now 1 sector left in this race. 6/10 is the margin. As they head through turn 15, then turn 16 and 17 for the final time. The gap is half a second. All that Karma needs to do is keep a cool head. He doesn't need to push too hard. Just put the car in the middle of the track and you'll make it. Only a few more corners now. Turns 20 and 21. What a great race of attrition this has turned out to be. And it's going to be a McLaren who stands on the top step tonight. Karma will win the Singapore Grand Prix. And Plebs puts it into the wall across the line. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of debris. G4 Zach will finish in P2, half a second behind. And Crichton will complete the podium places in P3. Scotty, 4th place. Great effort from Scotty. In fact, he just might get driver of the day. We'll wait and see. Plebs P5. A lot of crashing going on back there. Fiery Hour P6. What could have been for him? What could have been? Hillez, P7. He's made up 9 places. He could challenge for driver of the day as well. Same with GeForce Zach, making up 6 places. Maybe even 40 as well, starting from last, finishing inside the top 10. Leo rounds out the top 10. Then we have Spilly, Bags, Roscoe Arm, and then Rude will be our final finisher.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Just wow.
Not a bad way of putting it. It turned out to be a race of attrition, that's for sure. Just the driver who made the fewest mistakes ended up winning tonight, and that's Karma. He made the fewest mistakes, and he won. You know, you consider those behind him. Like Crichton got the drive through, Fiery Hour, with that pit stop, and then the overshoot at turn 12, 40, Wogboy as well. Leo, I believe, yeah, he had that disconnect, that really unfortunate disconnect, which hurt him, and then a mistake under the safety car. Yeah. Scotty gets it. Driver of the day for his performance, finishing P4 in today's race. And now it's the podium celebrations. And McLaren will stand on the top step. Well done, Karma. He is victorious here in Singapore. Fairly interesting race, I'd say.
Yeah.
Fairly interesting.
Considering the
race.
expectations we had.
Yeah. Look at that. Top 3 separated by less than a second. Well, the unofficial final results for the Singapore Grand Prix are Karma winning his first victory in Pacific Tier 1. He's claimed 2 podiums at Canada and Spa. He's just claimed a 3rd podium, and it's the top step here in Singapore. GeForce Zach will finish in P2 with GeForce Crichton completing the podium. Outside of the podium places, we have Scotty in P4, Plez in P5, Fiery Hour in P6, Hillez in P7, followed by Wogboy, GeForce Ford, and Leo rounds out the top 10. Then it's Spilly, Bags, Roscoe Arm with fastest lap, and Rude. Chip is also classified as well in 15th place. Only 2 retirements then, Average Only and Grim Reaper. Right. suppose we better get the top 3 in here. I'll just blue screen briefly, so then I can invite everyone in, and we can have a nice little chat about what happened here today in Singapore. Dum 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 dum. Hopefully they're appearing online. That'll be awfully nice. Oh well, Crichton won't be. He never appears online because he just wants to make things difficult sometimes. Let's see. Oh, neither is Zach. Well, good. Well, at least Karma is. Thank you, Karma, for appearing online. Make things a bit easier for me. G-Force, G. Where is the G? There's G. Oh, Zach must be appearing online then. Unless... Do I not have you as a friend? No way I don't have Zach as a friend. There's no way. No. I must be looking wrong. Hang on. G. Aaron, Crichton, Server, Swaggy. Where's Zach? Unless he's under a different name. I'm going to have to send him a friend request, I guess. How do I not? Oh, God. Oh, I feel horrible. Could you? I don't know if he'll be able to join or not. Hello, Crichton. Long race. Hee. Oh, don't worry. We will. Is it JW22? Out of curiosity with Zach? Yeah. 22. How do I not have you as a friend, Zach? I have no idea. I've got no... Hello, Karma, as well.
Hello.
Congrats, bro. Not a bad effort.
I mean, considering nobody of my car was as wide as, you know, the fucking walls. like fucking no one can pass anyone. I was so...
Hey man, sometimes the tortoises win the race, not the hare.
And then he served it, and then he got wing damage, and then he got stuck, so... I mean...
It do be like that. It do be like that sometimes. Hello, Zach, as well. Actually, I better check before as well. What console are you on? You're on PS4. I just want to make sure, Zach, that your party audio is all fine. So, if you go to party screen, and then go to party settings... if you go to the 4th option, it says allow your voice to be shared. If you put that on, always allow. Great, fantastic. So everything's set and ready to go. Rightio. We'll start the post-race interviews then. We'll go from 3rd and we'll make our way up. So we'll start with you, Mr. Crichton. Stonking lap in qualifying. I watched that on board too. So you're welcome.
Thank you very much. So yeah, that was my middle run in quali. I was quite happy with that time that flashed up, and I thought it was going to be a dry race, so I thought, yeah, we'll probably qualify on the mediums. So I was planning on having a little bit of time there because I might have to go to the loo, so that's why I didn't complete my final run. So yeah, that's why. But yeah, that middle run was really good, and I was quite satisfied with that. So. It's like, hopefully that's enough, cross fingers, and I think it was by 4/10 then a second or something, so yeah.
Yeah, to your teammate Fierio, yeah. Before that point, it was almost a second between you and Wogboy, I think it was. I'm like, yeah, righto, okay, fine. Sure, why not? But then the race came around. Take us through it.
The start. I'd probably say after lap 1, thought, I don't know, like it wasn't in the bag, but I thought, you know, it should be a nice cruisy drive here, just try and block if needed. Pretty sure I pulled away a couple seconds to fire. I was like, yeah, this is sweet.
Yep.
And then that safety car came out, and it somehow glitched with my time thing, and I got a drive through. So that was great.
So what, did it just dip into the negatives, like really?
Yeah, just straight away, and then boom, it just gave me drive through, and I thought, I don't know, like, it's strange, because I didn't I wouldn't say that I really like gave up. I was like, hopefully we can get a top 5, top 6 here, and we kind of caught that train and stuff, because I think it cost me out 22, 23 seconds with that drive through. So I thought, yeah, we can probably come back here. And then Karma was saying that he was really slow, and that I could see the train. So I thought, you know what, we might be able to just pull someone off here, and then caught up. But I think my tyres, at one stage Karma's rears were on 20% and mine were on 50% at halfway. So it wasn't looking too good for me. And then yeah, that second safety car came out, I boxed, and then Leo must have had the other time delta and stuff because he was going really slow, and then he pulled over. So yeah, Matt and Bailey, they were still ahead of me, so he came out, I think, yeah, P7, P8, and slow. I think I passed Matt, and then I tried to pass Zach, went for a stupid move and got slight wing damage on the right hand side, and that was kind of my front end gone then. And then yeah, the seas just parted in front of me, and I was like, thank you very much, boys. When they probably could have stolen a lot of points off me today. So yeah,
came back to finish on the podium.
Yep, no idea how, but we'll take it.
By the way, first safety car restart. Take us through that.
Oh, okay. The game
that was nuts.
Yeah, so the game didn't really want to give me control, and I might have had my foot a bit too far down on the accelerator. I probably had it about halfway.
So when you got control back, you had too much go juice.
Yeah, and she spun up, and I was almost in the pit lane, I believe.
Yeah.
Somehow I caught it, so that was nice. But I thought my race could have finished there, so that was quite scary. But yeah, super satisfied with this podium though. You know, I think my championship lead was 9, should be about 20 something now. So I made a few silly mistakes across the season, so I'm quite happy to have that little gap.
Alex, I imagine you'll have something to ask. Alex, well, far out. Marco.
Oh, no problem. It's no problem. You can call me Alex. Hey, it's my fault. I chose this nickname. Well, GG, Zach. Really well done. Like, considering how the race panned out.
Yeah.
Like, in the end. Yeah, you were really aggressive. Like, I mean, your driving style was like keeping me on the edge of my seat. Like, so it was really spectacular to watch you. I was about to ask you if you got wind damage, like when you were fighting with Zach, but you already answered to it.
Yeah.
Because then we realized you weren't fighting Zach anymore, and then we said, okay, maybe he's got some damage. That battle with Plevs was like amazing. Can you take us through it, like towards the end?
Yeah, like it's always hard having the person that you're trying to fight who's in the same party, and being Matt as well. So I was trying to be cautious, but it's Singapore, there's walls, it's wet, so I tried my best. Yeah, I kind of went for a nice move off the bridge there, and got my nose there, and I probably gave Matt a little bit too much room on the exit. I was a bit nice there because I don't know. It's probably
nice
a corner.
To you, the following corner, was it?
Yeah. Tell me about it. But yeah, you know, trust me. He had a little whinge about my move, and I didn't have a whinge. But you know, that's how it goes. But yeah, that's where I like to pass people into that corner, especially in the drive because they're not expecting it.
Yeah.
I made a few good moves over there.
You did the same thing at turn 3.
Yeah. Oh yeah. On Hiller. Wait. I forget who it was.
Hiller.
You did it on me.
Yeah, it almost put him into the wall.
Yeah. But no, that battle with Matt was really good and stuff. We were right up against the walls, and then just managed to get him around the outside. I thought he was going to put me in the wall for a second there, but he gave me just enough room. So that was nice there.
Oh, that's good to hear then.
And then actually, no, you go.
No, you go. You finish off.
I was just going to say nice job to Karma and Zach as well. So, first podium, first win for the boys.
But one final question. Next week, we're going over to Circuit of the Americas, the United States Grand Prix. How do you think you're going to fare?
It's a bit of... I don't know what to think of that track for me. I think I've had some luck there, had some bad luck in the past. One for warnings that you have to be really careful about. I'm pretty sure last season my tyre was on 100% for memory.
I vaguely remember you saying something like that.
I'm pretty sure my tyre somehow held on for me that day, so let's hope my tyres hang on next Tuesday as well.
I think you did some ridiculous amount of laps on a
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I boxed really early that race and tried to bring myself up the front, and tyre was absolutely knackered. But yeah, so I'm sure my tyres will be quite high on next week, as it tends to be a me problem. So I don't know, just my driving style, I think, and stuff. Like even tonight showed it and stuff in the rain. So
of course it did.
But
I hate how arrogant you are. Just
me.
Yeah, just sideways like it's nothing. If we go sideways once, we're dead. Right? He goes in sideways, it's no problem. Whatever.
No, I think it's a bit too sideways sometimes, though, Smee.
Alex again. Marco saw that a few times, particularly at the final corner. He saw it a few times. Very sideways.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I just said in the commentary, I said more than usual.
More than usual. Yeah. But no, great effort today, Mr. Crichton.
Cheers, thanks,
coming
boys.
back from the drive-through.
Thank you.
But, we move on to P2. Zach, what an effort!
Yeah, man, I'm stoked.
I would be too if I was in your position. Starting from 8th, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Came
starting
back
from 10th,
through.
realistically.
Yeah, take us through qualifying.
So quali was it was close, as you probably saw. I think I was 2/10 behind Karma, but 5 places back. So and my last time was pretty average, so I was a bit disappointed not to be higher up on the grid. But on the start, tried to do the Sunday strat because I got a rocket ship at the start on Sunday by getting low revs, but went a bit low and I actually dropped into anti-stall.
Oh,
so I dropped like 3 or 4 places, and then I think I was in P11 at one point, and I made a single overtake and I made it to 2nd. So yeah, I just kept it on track and kept it out of the way.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do.
So,
in these sort of conditions, it's a race of attrition.
Mate, the boys in the party will know, but like as soon as we saw it was full wet for the race, I went ballistic. I was loving it. It's the best combo for me.
Fair enough.
So I was very happy to see that, although the understeer was quite shocking. I nearly put in the wall at least 5 times. But
Zach almost put you in the wall.
He did almost put me in the wall. That was a bit hairy. But yeah, no, all was good. So unfortunately, Zach got the damage. If he hadn't got the damage, there's no way I would have kept him behind. He went for a sniff on the last lap as well.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
I saw that coming. I knew it was coming like 3 laps earlier. I knew exactly what was going to happen, but yeah, I think I kind of half covered it, half baited him into it. But look, it was good racing. I just got a good exit and managed to hold the positions. But like any other way, and he would have easily had me. So no, it was a good race. Good race behind the Karma train, as we called it. But full credit, he still won the race. He got most points, so good on him.
Made the least amount of mistakes, and he ended up winning the race. What do you know? But no, great effort from you. I was going to say it again. Marco, do you have anything to ask Zach?
Well, as you would say, great success. For this win.
Then
I'm really happy. I'm just really happy for you, mate. Like this season, especially in the Elite Series and on last Sunday as well.
You had like a shock this season, everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm really happy for you for this podium. So what happened on the last lap? Like, were you frustrated because of Crichton's move? Because you had a shot for the win in the end. Like you were really close to Karma.
I wasn't going to get by.
Well.
I would have had to send it pretty hard, I reckon, to make a move, but I also knew I got a first podium on the line here, and I don't really want to throw it away just to have a half-assed move at a win. So
fair enough.
But yeah, I knew Zach's move was coming. I could see that one. Yeah, no, I wasn't going to send it on Karma. I was just hoping he got a penalty or something, but not to be.
Fair enough. But no, that was a fine effort tonight. Zach, congratulations on your first podium finish.
Thank you, boys.
Tier 1.
Thanks to everyone that raced tonight.
But no, congrats on your P2 finish. We'll move on to our race winner, Karma. What an effort! What an effort!
If you could see me run out, I have the biggest smile on my face, I must say.
Mate, I'd have one as well. Just stay in front. Just minding your own business at the front of the track. You had a lot of people behind you.
Yeah, that's why it's called the Karma Train.
Karma Train.
The Karma Train. Yeah.
But take us through qualifying first of all, and then the race. How was it?
Well, full wet, so strategy out the window, qualifying on the medium. So
Yep.
three sets of softs. Each lap got progressively better. I ended up doing a 35.6, and I was just like, well, I'm going to start P8. But it turns out I was P3.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm not particularly quick around here, as you could see.
This is the man who won the race.
But yeah, I just try my best to stay out of trouble, really.
Yep. And it worked.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like,
Molly, it worked.
I had 2 warnings by lap 11. I was like, oh god.
Jeez.
I gotta stay, like, because I was defending against Wogboy because he was getting real close.
Yeah.
Just there's only like 2 overtaking spots, and he was close most of the time. So
Yeah.
he put the pressure on hard. It was just unfortunate that him and Ford came together at the.
Yeah, your eyes must have lit up at that.
Oh mate, when I saw that, I was like, oh yes.
Yes, I don't have pressure on me anymore.
Yeah, but like when that happened, like Zach JW came through, and I was just like, okay, he's 2 seconds behind me. We've got 4 laps to go. I can take it easy. Takes it easy. Last lap, he's 3 tenths behind me. I'm like, oh no. But,
was your heart in your mouth at that point? Was it, all going on behind the wheel?
I was just trying to stay as cool as possible and just hit my makeshift braking points because I had no practice in the wet.
Yep.
So,
fair enough.
Yeah.
Who practices in the wet? Let's be honest. Who does?
I have for one track, and that's it.
For one track? What track? Out of curiosity.
Australia.
Fair enough.
Same lol.
Yeah.
Fair
Did
enough.
it for the endurance.
No, a lot of us just practice in the dry and just sort of whatever in the wet and just try and attack.
Yeah, there was the safety car restarts are so buggy now, especially here because where you come into the pit entry, it's the same where the start finish line is.
Yeah.
So on Crichton's restart, he almost lost it, and then Fiery Hour had this weird lag thing where he just put it in the pit wall on my screen. And then he's ghosted all the way through turn 1 and 2 and 3.
I did see that. So he did ghost. I thought I saw that right.
Right, so Plebs hit me.
Right.
So Plebs hit me coming into turn 1. He was going up the inside. I gave him, I think, a fair enough amount of space, but he's hit me.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
No.
And that spun him. But I don't know what's going on with Fiery. I didn't see the angle, so I don't know if he was ghosted when he came into that corner, because if he was there, he definitely would have hit Plebs. But when we've come through, he's ghosted. And he's just ghosted straight through me, and then he's hit me out of turn 3.
Right,
So,
I saw that too. Right,
So,
I didn't
yeah.
see what happened to players, so thanks for explaining that, because
yeah,
we
so
were
he
wondering what the hell
spun,
happened.
Yeah, that's what happened, he spun.
Because we were too busy looking at you and Fiery Arrow, I think, and then we noticed Plebs was in 12. Oh, what happened to Plebs? He was 4th, now he's down outside the 10, and he recovered pretty nicely as well. If he didn't have that penalty, he would have been in that fight
I think he came 4th, didn't he?
No, 5th at the end, after penalties.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he plays 4th.
But on track, he was 4th.
Yeah.
But no. No, good. I was wondering what happened there with Plebs on that first restart. And I thought I saw Ghost. I thought I saw Fiery Hour Ghost through you. And
Yeah,
I
he
was
100%
right.
did. Yeah, I've got a video. You'll see it. You'll see it.
Right. Marco, have you got anything to ask our race winner?
Apart from big GG, well, how was it to handle the pressure? The karma train was on, so you had a lot of pressure from behind, and how did you handle it? Towards the whole race, actually.
I decided to start aggressively short shifting. So because I knew that I would start to panic on the accelerator, because that's what I usually do. I usually start to try and get the power down earlier, and it makes me spin. So I started aggressively short shifting, so I wouldn't do that, and it worked, and it made me feel a bit more comfortable. So I was just trying to focus on what the one car behind me and not everyone, because it's not like it's like Austria where 4 cars can go past you on one straight. Yeah, Yeah. So I was just just focusing on Wogboy behind me, and then it was Zach. So, but yeah, I was just trying to just focus on one car rather than the whole grid.
Yep.
Which is hard to do when you got half the grid in a party and they're all behind you, being like, "Why is this train so slow?" And like, who's at the front of this train?
And you're just sort of sinking in your seat.
It's like, why are we going so slow? Like 2 seconds slower than the fastest lap. We're just like,
be quiet, I'm doing my best.
But yeah, slow and steady wins the race this time.
Yeah, that's right. Sometimes the tortoise does beat the hare.
My my unluckiness has ended. We're here. I've been so unlucky on Sundays, so I'm very happy with this. It's good.
It's good to hear that you're happy about this. Now, I will ask you one more question, but I think I forgot to ask Zach a question.
Which
Zach,
one?
Next week, we're going over to Kota. I don't think I asked you about next week.
No, you didn't.
No. How do you feel about next week, heading over to Circuit of the Americas?
I'd say I've got a half decent pace around there. I just got to keep it within the white lines, because knowing me, I'll end up with about 15 seconds of penalties.
I think that's a really important thing at that track in particular. Yeah.
So, well, once again, I wouldn't mind a wet race. I do like a good wet race. So, if it's dry, I'll definitely be getting penalties.
I wouldn't mind a changing weather race.
I wouldn't mind a wet Kota. I don't think, or like an intermediate Kota. I think I don't think I've ever done it in the wet before, so I think that'll be interesting. But odds are it's gonna be bone dry and sunny.
So the plans are for next week: pray to the rain gods for.
Mate, that's the plan every week.
Oh, that's good. Well, we know who to blame for the full wet conditions here in Singapore, now, don't we?
Absolutely.
Right,
I got no regrets about it.
All right, so we got a guy praying for rain. What about you, Colin? Are you hoping for rain next week at Kota?
The L plan is for dry. So
okay, fair.
So we're looking for dry. I'm not doing another wet race. I'll end up at the back. You can at least pass on that track. So
that's true. You've got longer straights and bigger braking zones. So
yeah, exactly. But I'm all right there, I guess. We'll look for top 8. I said this last time, just top 8.
Oh, that's always a solid marker to hit. You know, in the middle of the points. That way you can get solid points.
I think Crichton will come back.
Yeah, I'll be watching.
Just a mess. So
I'll be watching him in qualifying again. That's hey, I was watching you this time. I caught your pole lap.
Exactly. That was good. I'm very glad about that.
I was keeping an eye out for when that outlap disappeared next to your name. And I went to you, and I got the pole lap, which is great because I think that's my first fully on board pole lap this.
Hopefully next week's the same.
All right, I'll keep a mental
Also,
note.
fun stat is Karma is the 20th race winner in the history of the the Pacific Series. Yeah.
Really?
Congratulations.
20th winner ever.
Wow.
So wait, they've had 8 seasons and only 20 different winners.
6 seasons, is it?
And he joins.
Oh yeah, sorry, 6.
9 other people on 1 win.
9.
Yeah.
I know Scotty's one of them.
He has, yeah.
From last season.
The one-time winners are Plebs. Then we have ACW, Scotty, Curving Texas, Todd Star, James H, Smith, Spicy, Karma.
Surely
that's right, Spicy last season at Singapore, that's right.
Yeah.
In a McLaren, no less.
It was too, so it's McLaren back-to-back.
Yeah.
Keeping it alive. I think I'm going to drive McLaren next season.
The Papaya Boys are enjoying the streets of Singapore.
They are.
So, and who are the rest? So you, obviously, 40.
So we have myself, 34. Then we have Amazing Hour, 40. Giannis, Billy, Swaggy. We have Kush, Aaron, Jax. Then we have Darren, 11.
Oh my goodness, that's a name.
And then Plebs, ACW, Scotty, and so on.
Yeah.
Like I said before. And then we have 36 podium getters. Actually, so now 37.
Now 37.
Yep.
Zach.
Yeah. The boys.
How about that? So there you go,
stat.
fellas. Made a bit of history. That's pretty cool.
Good stuff.
But no, I think that will wrap everything up here tonight. Thank you, 3 gentlemen, for joining us here to just.
One more fun stat.
Oh.
It's been a different winner for each season at Singapore.
You're kidding.
Season 1 was amazing. Season 2, which was my first season, is when I wrote, yep. And then I won that. Season 3, Yana. Season 4, Bailey. Season 5, Spicy. Season 6, Karma.
And now Karma.
Yeah, I think that is the only track that has that stat.
Right. So next season, we got to expect a different one.
Yeah.
Well, next season it will be Zach JW.
Yeah,
exactly.
he's got second.
We got to get the streak up, I reckon.
Yeah, mark my words, he's winning it next time.
Exactly. We have to get the bulldozer out or something.
Mark
Cars, I reckon. We have to make it work.
Well, mark the date whenever that's going to be. Singapore, Season 7. Expect a new winner. But no, thank you again, you three, for joining us here for some post-race questions.
Thanks for having us.
And congrats on your finishing places as well. But I think, Marco, that will wrap everything up. As you said earlier, this race sort of surpassed our expectations.
Oh, by far.
Yeah, definitely. A full wet race that was actually fairly interesting. We had drama, we had action, we had a bit of battling going on. And we have a brand new winner in the history of Race Spec Esports and another brand new podium finisher. So, a bit of history being made as well, which is fantastic to hear. But I think, everybody, with everything said and done, it's now time to wrap up the stream. Tune in throughout the week as we've still got plenty of racing to come here on Race Spec Esports, but for Pacific Tier 1, we'll have to wait until next week. Until then, I've been Lane Everingham. My co-commentator, as always, is GeForce Pato. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you for round 9 of the championship at Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix. Goodbye.